Thank you, Roland, for the lead-in. We love being here on the Roland Martin Unfiltered Networks because this is Truth Talks, where we keeps it real. Let's go.
Are y'all ready to roll? Let's go.
Welcome to Truth Talks, the show that gives you black people arguing like we're at the barbecue. We used to be the #1 show on Fox Soul, but now we're here with our new home with Roland Martin Unfiltered because we needed a blacker platform that lets us be the opinionated, unapologetic, truth-telling people we really are. This is Truth Talks, and it would not be Truth Talks without Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Welcome.
Listen, y'all, he said bigger and blacker, and I like the bigger and the blacker, and we are here on Black Star Network, where we can be black, do black, because as Jay-Z said, no matter what we do, we still black. I'm not gonna go there with it. We still black, all right? So it's your favorite doc, Dr. Bryant. Y'all, we're covering some real current events today that impact you, that are gonna teach you some good things and some new things that hopefully you can take into your household and take into your community, and you can become the leader that we're all responsible for being. So stay tuned.
If you rolled with this show last season, you saw a little of Dr. Sarah Fontenot. This season, you're going to see a lot of her because she is our newest co-host. Welcome to the family.
What's up? I'm so happy to be here bringing critical thought, asking real questions for some that may feel the exact same way as me, because this is Truth Talks. We gonna tell the truth.
Yeah, she's got a podcast called It's Giving, and hopefully she's got her passport with her so she can get into the show each week. And also, Dimitri Wiley from the Lost Lover Boy podcast, my favorite millennial. How are you?
I'm blessed by God. How are you beautiful people today?
I want to flow into our main topic, white genocide, the great white lie. Trump had the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, in the Oval Office, and he's telling him about what's going on in South Africa. Trump is teaching him about this is the ultimate mansplaining, right? This is toxic masculinity. Trump is telling the president of South Africa about South Africa. Can we listen to the lie that Trump told the president of South Africa?
Death. Horrible death. Death. I don't know. To pick anyone, white South Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. And this is all.
Oh my God!
I mean, I'll give these to you. So when you say what would I like to do, I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couple say that they were attacked violently.
So this is the madness from 47, which then leads into people going on television, taking his mindset, his lies, because he's repeating lies as if they are true. And people go on TV and defend him, and then the MAGAs hear that and go, well, it must be true because Trump said it. And roll Scott Jennings talking to Abby Phillip about it.
I mean, Scott,
you're saying it's not true that some white farmers have been murdered?
No, it's not true that there is a genocide against white
Okay,
farmers.
whatever you call it, have white farmers been murdered?
Actually, how many
have violence been committed against white farmers?
How many white farmers? Hold on a second. How many white farmers have been murdered in
I don't know.
South
Several.
Africa?
I mean, they asked.
No. How many?
I don't know. Several.
I know why you don't know. Because those numbers don't exist broken down by race. There are 19,000 murders in South Africa. 36 were on farms. 7 of the farmers were victims. Okay, 29 victims who were included in the farm killings were farm employees who tend to be black.
Woo! I love Abby Phillip. Dr. B, Scott is trying to make this about racism, right? And racism against white people. And they love to be telling black Africans, you're the real racist here, right? Like, and get into the white victimhood of it all. But there's a whole business aspect of it. I want to get into the selective immigration part of this because they let 59 white South African in. Why? I don't know. But there's a whole profit motive going on here.
First of all, sis, Abby, go off, sis. Go off. All right, I'm back, Torre. I'm back. Why are we letting in South Africans? What do you mean? Our real president, Elon Musk, is South African. We know why. Second of all, what's going on in South Africa has to do with, it's a power move. It's a money move. And what you said, Torre, about them trying to make it a white genocide type of thing. There's a word that I know of, and I'm sure we all can relate to. It's called the apartheid. Okay. This is when everything was taken from the Africans that were there that happened to look like us. All right. And because of that, I've been to South Africa. Because of that, any white person who owns a business in South Africa has to have a Black African own 51% of that business to be able to. This is South Africa's way of leveling out the playing field for the equity that was taken from us back in the apartheid time, right? Which is still going on to this day. So when Trump and them are going in there talking about, hey, you know, we have this Starlink product and we're not tripping off of, or we don't care about Black people having any type of stock in it. What they're trying to do, I'm telling you, what Elon Musk is trying to do is do a reverse Uno on South Africa to say, hold on. So you say, in order for us white folks to own a business, we got to give somebody Black 51% because we took everything they had from them anyways, and they don't have anything to work with. We're still working in a deficit if you ever visit South Africa. That now when I have my own big company, which I'm going to make it seem like South Africa needs to control their crime rate so that we can have a public safety there, okay, which that's not going to create public safety. That's not going to lower the crime rate. I'm going to tell you this. Guess what? Nobody Black can or has to have stock in this. What he's doing, and he said it loud on TV. He's leveling out the playing field in South Africa because in his mind, he said there's a reverse racism going on white people, which he is saying is causing a white genocide. What the are you talking about here? No, seriously, reverse racism on a group of people who are still having the biggest healthcare disparity in South Africa, that are still having the biggest socioeconomic disparity in. If you visit South Africa, I've been to Johannesburg and Cape Town, okay? Both of those countries have big military men standing out with machine guns because it's that dangerous. I'll wrap with this. When we landed in Africa, we called an Uber and it was like 10 o'clock. And I don't ask me why we landed in Africa that late. Please, just give me some grace. We got in our Uber. The Uber driver kept running the red lights and running the stop sign. I said, excuse me, sir. Is there a reason why we're running these lights? I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get pulled over by police. You know what he said to me? He said, ma'am, if we don't run red lights and if we don't run stop sign, we will not get ticket because police officers know if we stop, guess what? We will more than likely get robbed. That's how bad the crime rate is out there and the crime is. So what I'm saying is this is all a business move. This is all them trying to be assholes and do a reverse Uno on, well, guess what? You guys want to play victim. We're going to play victim and say it's reverse racism. And then we're going to make you seem like you need us in our business so we can run the checkup. Stop.
Dimitri, one of the small, tiny good things out of all this is Trump unwittingly has us talking about Africa and caring about what goes on in Africa and seeing the struggle of those sisters and brothers as linked to our struggle, which what we talked about that around apartheid decades ago. A lot of times we don't think about Africa now. We don't talk. A lot of brothers and sisters are not going to Africa and are like, I don't want to go to Africa, but their struggle is our struggle.
No, absolutely. I think the thing about it is this isn't about South African refugees at all. It's about white nationalism cloaked in immigration policies. The thing about Trump in its entirety, all of this seems like the biggest level of hypocrisy I've ever seen in my life. This is literally stolen land we're on at the moment. And the thing about it is, it's the truth hidden behind propaganda and Elon's Wi-Fi. Like this is absolutely ridiculous. And you're absolutely right.
We had a clip from Senator Mark Warner, who basically told us what was going to happen in this South Africa Oval Office meeting. Let's see that.
Pretty nice Tuesday morning, bringing report from the front. I don't know if anybody saw the Bloomberg article today. One more example of where Elon Musk is using his influence to extract a deal for his satellite company, Starlink, before the South African government comes to meet for tariff talks. Now, South Africa has to change its laws to allow Starlink to operate, but this coming on the heels of similar changes of mindset from countries like Bangladesh and India, Pakistan, and others. Just remember, this is all being done by somebody who is also a special government employee. Talk to your friends. Talk to those who supported Donald Trump. Was this kind of corruption what they were endorsing?
No, the corruption is exactly the point, Sarah, that Elon can't use this government, influence this government to influence that government for him personally to be enriched. That's what happened here.
I totally agree. And it's wild. Even just the smallest nuances. That South African president came to the Oval Office to talk about tariffs. And somehow that turned into Trump saying the genocide that's happening. Look at these pictures. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Thousands and thousands of people are dying. And why are all of these white farmers dying? I just don't understand why they're all dying. Right. So in a true Trump fashion, sir, have you been there? You know, I know that you have some golf buddies that are from South Africa, and I know that you guys have those conversations. However, as long as you haven't been there, if you haven't seen the graves, if this is all just rhetoric at the end of the day, you don't know whether it's true or not. Why are you regurgitating and then also telling the president about his country? I am so confused by that. And what do? We're just like, oh, you know, if you're impressionable, so our job is not to be impressionable, right? Is we allow Trump to create a new truth that literally came from thin air. So it's just absolutely wild that this is even in conversation right now, but it is a money grab. I do believe that 10,000%.
You know, you're absolutely right that you know what this is about. And Trump has a lot of nerve talking to somebody else about crime in their country. And I wish that Ramaphosa had said, you know, you have a lot of crime in your country. You incarcerate more people than any other country in the world. What are you talking about, sir? Why don't you deal with your problems in Chicago and Detroit and East St. Louis and whatever, instead of telling us what I wish just once some world leader would go into the Oval Office and tell, right, Dimitri, that would be the best.
You know why he can't do that? Because he trying to secure this plane he asking his man for.
Hello.
All I'm worried about is what he can get in the end of this. To me, the whole presidency in itself is how much Trump can leave with. Trump is trying to be better than he was when he left. I mean, when he started.
No, you're absolutely right that he has made a ton of money being president, a lot of it from the meme coin, which is just monetizing him being president. It's like a fan club. It's a way for you to give direct money directly to him because you like him, right? You're not supposed to make money off of the presidency. You should actually actively work to make sure it appears that you are not making money. But instead we have Trump trying to make money in all, I mean, like this Middle Eastern trip we just went through, he made money in Qatar, he made money in Saudi Arabia, these are like the developer goes abroad to see what deals he can get, not the president goes to take care of us. Dr. B, what are we doing here?
First of all, can we just talk about what the Starlink is just for a second? Can we just talk about this internet, this high-speed constellation operated internet? Come on, y'all, that they are trying to convince South Africa that they need. What does internet do? It collects data. What does internet do? It collects all the information from what people are looking at, browsing at, locations, their information, their credit card, social security number, their address, their DNA, their ancestry.com at this point. So what do you think these people want? Again, I said this is a whole big world, or they are trying to take over and dominate the human race. Internet gives you the most valuable thing, and that's called data. That's called data. All you need is data on people to control anything. This is what it is. This is what it's about. It's a power move, and like Sarah said, it's a money move. And if they fall into this, South Africa is going to be in trouble. I wish, and I'll land on this, that South African president had some cojones like the woman president. You probably know Tori. I can't think of her name. She told him, "Check this out, Negro. If you can't rock with the things we need, guess what? Deuces, we just won't give you the resources that you've been getting from our country." And she stood on it. Okay. Now I forgot. I don't want to quote the wrong name. You may know, Tori. Help me out.
No, I know. I'm trying to remember who you're talking about.
Help me, family. Help me.
I'm trying to call him a Negro. Like, how'd you know that part?
But you know what?
I did the word Negro. I code switched for her. Dimitri, I code switched.
I do love the point that you made about Starlink is there to collect their data And what he did at Doge was collect our data. And he clearly understands the importance and power that comes from having mass amounts of data on tons and tons of people. And I don't even understand what or why he would use that. And like, what is the problem? Oh, Jimmy, you get it?
Ain't this the exact same problem we had with TikTok in America?
Come on, Dimitri.
Hey, I
That's what
just
I'm saying.
want to know, wasn't it data collection we were arguing?
Hold on.
Okay, wait.
Yes, wait. And Trump wanted to shut it down unless they let him own it, so he can have the access to and own the damn data. Dimitri, you're a genius. Absolutely.
That was the ostensible comment that they were making about TikTok. I don't think that's really what's going on. I think you're seeing Google and Meta say we cannot have a foreign competitor to our space. So kick out the foreigners from our space. So that the president's trying to help them kick the Chinese company out of their. That's what I think is really going on.
But he has selective foreigners, selective immigrants, right? Because he's sure selecting South Africa to be the foreigners that's going to be all within our Starlink and all within our internet service. He sure wants them to be involved, correct?
Can they cue the video again? Can we see the video again one more time?
Wait, before we go to the video, I just have to say, we know that it's a money grab. What you guys are saying, Vici, that was so brilliant. And it's so true, because when we think about it, the majority of murder victims are poor young Black men, by the way. And the pictures that Trump was showing are said to have come from other African countries.
Right.
And it's a known fact that over 800,000 Rwandans and 400,000 Sudanese have been murdered to this date. And you want to talk about 40 graves? It's the worst thing you've ever seen in your life, and it's 40 graves. Like, we have to get realistic with what is happening right in front of our eyes. This is all about data. This is all about control. This is all about power, and this is all about money. If it was really about a genocide, things all over the world would look different.
No, you're right. My favorite part of the whole thing you just referenced, when Trump is showing this picture of this horrific grave in South Africa, and the president of South Africa is like, that's not in South Africa.
Right.
Dude, like, what are you doing? He's such a pathetic professor at his horrific university, his bizarro school, that he's not even teaching the right things. This is indoctrination. Things that are not true, right? This whole, I mean, like, the South African president should be so offended by this presentation. This is ridiculous.
But you know, the thing about it is, it's the light, it's the attention. You begin to believe people in their word because they say it on such major platforms. His position automatically grants validity to so many uneducated people and people willing to uneducate themselves. That's the problem.
Well, it's a lack of education, but it's also the bifurcation of our media, right? Like, it used to be, we all get the same newspaper. We all watch Walter Cronkite or Dan Rather, and we all hear the same things. And now I look at a feed that is curated for me, right? On I don't look at Facebook, but people my age look at Facebook, or like a Huffington Post, and other people look at an entirely different thing. Drudge Report, Fox News, QAnon, whatever. So they're getting an entirely different. So the world to them looks entirely. Joy Reid used to talk about it like, we live on Earth 1 and they live on Earth 2. So like the entire world is different to them. They don't even. We don't understand what they're. They don't understand because we don't even hear their lies, their crap. I don't know, Dr. B. What is going on?
Joy Reid, another Black voice that's been silenced. You see what I'm saying? You right. And so, I mean, my thing is, I just feel like, you know, all of this is something that's connected to a much bigger picture. And when we don't have platforms like True Talks, where we are providing real information that is impacting us systemically and globally, then we do lose as a race of people, not just a community of Black people, but we lose as a whole. We got to have shows like this where we're talking about things like Starlink. Most people don't know what the hell that is until they watch this show. We're talking about data being something that collected does make money. Most people didn't know that. And to go further, in order to have internet, you have to have a dish, right? You got to have a dish, and you have to have that be put in that country. And that dish, in addition to data, also is something that allows people to have satellite connection and satellite capacity and access to another country. All of this is about taking over a vulnerable, marginalized country that already needs help. This is sad. This is bullying. And this is something that our people, by coming to shows like True Talks, need and deserve to be privy to.
I appreciate immensely how you've explained Starlink and the data situation and how that is overseeing all this, because I didn't realize this to the way you explained it. So this is a quite extremely frightening situation, and related to the 59 white South Africans that Trump allowed to come in, a bizarre selective immigration. We are trying to get rid of brown people, whether or not it's legal, as fast as possible. But 59 white South Africans, because it's easier for them to assimilate, supposedly, they were ushered into the country and given subsidies and all these things. There was an amazing argument about all of this in Congress between Senator Tim Kaine and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Let's see that.
Wherever during the apartheid era in South Africa did the United States establish a special program to allow South African blacks who were treated as second-class citizens in the apartheid program, a special program so they could claim refugee status in the United States?
No, because I was probably in 9th grade or 8th grade at the time.
Yeah, well, then I don't expect you to know. I'll just tell you, never.
No. I mean, my God, if anybody deserved immigration, it would have been those who were suffering under apartheid. America used to be this place where if you are struggling in your country, you can come here, be it Cuba, Haiti, Russia, Czechoslovakia. If you are struggling, if your country is repressing you politically or militarily, you can come to America. We welcome you. The embrace of immigrants from around the world is what made us who we were. It made us strong. It characterized America. And now it's like, we are closed. Do not come here unless you're white. Do not come here. We do not want you. We want to be this old white country that cuts out everybody else. This is not what America is about. It was always supposed to be a group of people, right? This is the whole American experience, the whole challenge of America. Can a broad group of people live together? Right now, the answer is no. Dimitri,
Hooray.
what is going on?
This is what America was supposed to be about. To who? To you? To who? To Black Americans? To who? To the Mexicans who opened up their country first to us and said, before Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery, and said, listen, in our country, it won't be no slaves. When they come here, there is no slavery. Who? To who? To who? So to who is this for? Let me explain something to you. When Trump says make America great again, and he let in 59 South Africans that don't look nothing like us African Americans on here, what he's saying is make America great again is make whites superior, blacks inferior, 100%. And out the damn Mexicans. That 100%. Is what he's saying. That is what he's saying. He's saying America that was great to them again is them being superior. And guess what? They have become the minority. So why do you think they got to bring in more whites? So they can get back their majority, so they can get back their superiority? Because at this point, minorities are taking over. And if we could collaborate and have think tanks and strategize, this is the thing. We could literally be the power tank, but we are not doing that again because we are watching things like social media. We are watching narratives that are teaching us things that do not benefit us in the long term, and it don't benefit us in the short term. There's only a handful of leaders, Touré, that understand what's really going on. You're one of them. I'm one of them. We are one of them. Dr. Sarah Dimitri are becoming more surrounded and educated on these things. But do you understand
we're getting the numbers, as you say, right? I mean, people of color, including Asian folks who may be with us politically at any given moment, may not, right? Also, Latino folks who are not necessarily with us in any given political moment.
Touré, I got to push back for a second. One second. Hold on. Hold on. And I'm going to say 2-3 words, and I promise I'll let you go. There's nobody, and I am Black, Latina, and Creole, and I'm going to stand on what I'm about to say, and I'll double down on it. There is nobody who is in it with us. Everybody's a colored person when it's time to benefit from what we fight for and from our policies and our laws. But when it comes to fighting the things that demise us, marginalize us, despair us, and take us out, there is only one person who stands for that, and that's Black people. I'm so tired of people saying people of color. No, everybody doesn't stand for us when it's time to fight. When it's time to benefit off of us, they do. So I'm gonna push back on that all the way, and I'm done.
I think that's absolutely right, and I think there's a lot of ways that other people of color who are not Black are not with us politically when we need them. I think that's absolutely right. And obviously there are specific individuals who are allies, but as general communal, we saw in 2024 in the election, they do not necessarily stand with us. But even as our numbers rise, as in South Africa, where there's way more Black people than white people, it's wealth. The white minority in South Africa has the wealth. The white majority in America has the wealth. And as long as there's a massive wealth disparity, and it's not even about the entire white community, because there's plenty of poor white people in New York and Appalachia and on and on and on. But of the folks who are rich, of the folks who are wealthy, they're almost all white. And the non-white ones are down with the white people's program, right? So, I mean, even as we move up slightly politically over time, even as we move up as far as demographics and population, we're not moving up in terms of wealth, so we're not moving up in terms of power.
Ooh. I agree.
The thing about it, I wholeheartedly agree with everything you said. The thing about it is what we're watching right now is not at all about refugees. It's about racism. It's about a fight. Fighting for a very long fucking time. It doesn't matter what continent you place it in. Like you said, the wealthy win. Anytime the Black equality becomes a condition, all billionaires scream socialism every single time, every time. And it's always going to happen. It's always been that way. But my thing about it is, I said this once before and I'll say it on here again. We have to learn as a culture, as a community, economically, politically, financially, in every aspect, to be war ready. And what that means is you prepare for when times like this come and things begin to turn or flip over, or when we're the minority, or when we're the minority, but not actually we're the majority at this point. We will soon be the majority in Africa, you said, the Black in Africa, no?
Yeah, in Africa for sure.
In Africa, the Black is the majority, and without a war room, you still cannot fight against the wealthy. So I just want to say, we actually developed that.
I want to say this for Dimitri. Wait, Dimitri made. I want to say this for Dimitri really quick because you always have freaking teaching moments. I love you, Dimitri. When you said we're not the minority yet here in the U.S., there are 13.4% African Americans. Just so you know the ratio of how many of us are here. So we are very much the minority as the one race of people. When you start to add in the other people of color, then of course that minority number raises. But there's only 13.4% of African Americans here in the U.S.
I mean, American law talks about what you need to do or who you need to be what you need to do to come into this country. It does not talk about who you need to be, but somehow our government now thinks that they can pick and choose who can roll the clip.
Policy doesn't require even-handedness. It requires prioritizing the interests of the United States.
The phrase says you are entitled to entrance as a refugee if you demonstrate a well-justified fear of persecution.
No, you're not entitled.
So can you have a different standard based upon the color of somebody's skin? Would that be acceptable?
Well, I'm not the one arguing that. Apparently you are, because you don't like the fact that they're white, and that's why they're coming.
I'm just asking you to say that that would be unacceptable.
Well, no,
that
I would say that the United States,
a very easy thing to say.
The United States has a right to pick and choose who they allow into the United States.
Even based on the color of somebody's skin.
You're the one that's talking about the color of their skin, not me. These are people whose farms were being burned down and they were killed because of the color of their skin.
Okay, so there is not genocide in South Africa. They were not being attacked because of the color of their skin. I generally would go along with Marco that you don't have to accept every person, but you're not doing that in good faith because you're not saying we're going to give everybody a chance to come here. We're saying we want more white people and we want Black and brown people to not come. That is not how we're supposed to run these sorts of systems based on pure racism. Sarah?
I just feel like here we go again with this manipulating switch of the hand, strategic. They're so strategic with rolling out what they're going to do and how exactly they're going to give us the short end of the stick. And then they curtain it and call it policy. They curtain it and call it safety. They curtain it and call them that they're it's like the white saviors complex is happening all over and around, right? And so for me, this is happening all over again. Even when you go back to the Starlink conversation, first it started out with land, right? They came, they took the land, and they made everybody else slave to what they had going on. And now in Africa, we already got you, right? Because we know that you need us as your allies. We already got you in that way. But on top of that, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the data that we're getting is oh goodness, I lost my train of thought.
The data we're getting is
that the data that they're getting is essentially there's no opportunity. Why is it that Starlink is able to say no one gets to have not one South African gets to have ownership inside of Starlink. Not one South African gets to make any of the money off of what is
not one black South African, Sarah. Yep.
Right.
They don't get that. But you get to come in, you get to use the people as you want, you get to use the land that you want, you get to put in this technology as you'd like, you get to steal the data. This all over again is how colonialism was built. Pillage and killing. That is it. All they've ever done. This is another pillage to the South Africans, and they refuse to look at it that way. They refuse to stand up and say no. Instead, what is our South African president doing? He's trying to be friends. He's trying to be so nice, while Trump sits there and disrespects him, saying, you need to buy me a plane, or you need to offer me a plane, or I came here to talk about tariffs, sir. I did not come here to talk about a plane. I did not come here to, well, I guess not really to talk about Starlink, but how can we work together? And you're talking about genocide that's not even real?
Sarah,
wild.
Sarah, is this the worst president of all time?
I'm Canadian. I don't know. I don't know all the presidents. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the worst of all time? No, a lot of them wasn't shit either.
Yeah.
He another one of the ones. That's it. That's all I see.
Doc, you got him worst of all time?
Of all time, yes. Of all time, yes. I want to go back to that video real quick though, Torre, because what the senator is clearly saying is that the U.S. doesn't see or deem white people as immigrants, my love. It doesn't matter where they come from. Guess what? If they white, they right. They're not immigrants. That's what he's saying. He's saying that if they come from South Africa, if they come from Europe, if they come from anywhere, if they're white, then they're not an immigrant. That's what they're trying to explain, is that there is an entitlement and a privilege with being white. He's trying to dissipate and demise the fact that the skin color thing, let's go past that then. DNA says you white. So guess what? U.S. doesn't deem you as an immigrant. So you have every right to be on this land. That's exactly what they're saying in our face, directly and loud. This is so freaking loud. And this is why the Black voice is so important, because who else is this loud in our community as loud as they are?
No, you're right that for Trump, it is critical to protect white people and white people to know, I am here for you. I remember in 2016, my friend Van Jones was going around interviewing Trump voters, right? At a time when we were still shocked that there were any Trump voters. And consistently in these interviews, he's sitting in these people's living rooms, right? In living rooms he would never be invited into if he wasn't with CNN. And people are saying to him, not being asked, but volunteering to him, this is our last chance, because they understand the demographics are moving against them. We are going toward a minority majority country, and they are afraid of that. And they are voting based on that. And Trump told them, they heard it. They heard the dog whistle. I am here for white people. I will protect white people. And this shows them, I will protect white people anywhere in the world. Go ahead, Dimitri.
No, you're exactly right. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. I think it's amazing that you comparatively, you look at everything they're doing and the treatment of every other immigrant that is being kicked out or revolted access, or even just those in South Africa compared to the whites. It's completely illogical.
Sarah.
I agree. It's getting to a point where everything we've ever built has been taken from us, or even when it's like we always start out in a deficit. And this goes back to why community inside of the Black community is so important. When you think before the Tulsa fires happened and you think about the Jim Crow laws, well, the Jim Crow laws forced us to have to purchase from one another. It forced our economy to be strong because the dollar was navigating inside of the Black community, creating more buildings. And then what happened? It did get burnt down, the old Black Wall Street, right? But it's literally like we have already seen bits and pieces and snippets of what it looks like for us to work together, for us to really be a community, and to know that we have come back. I don't want to bring it all the way back to slavery, but literally to start in a deficit and be where we are at is so powerful. But in order for us to make sure that we don't regress all over again, we have to come together and we have to create community.
Dr. B, so much of my life has been shaped by going to college and being an African-American studies major and learning about our history, our people, our philosophies, and all.
I have an African-American study degree as well, Torre. Tag me in.
And as Trump is attacking universities and attacking Blackness and Black people and Black history, and trying to keep universities from even teaching young people who are us that now, right? Then I fear for people who are like me, who are like you, who are 18, 19, 20, and need to be reading Frantz Fanon and James Baldwin and Toni Morrison, and Bell Hooks, so they can more deeply understand the Black experience.
Torre, and your book, Torre, and your book, and reading your book, because you wrote a whole book about this stuff. Come on now.
Yes, for sure. But they're taking away those opportunities. And you think about how many voices are being erased. You think about how many spirits are being expunged. You think about how much this information is critical to making us the best people that we can be for our community, and taking away this education about Black history is so sad.
Torre, you know what my thing is? This shit ain't new. It's just loud. You know what happened in the civil rights era? You know what happened in the civil rights era when it got real loud? It wasn't new. You know what they did? MLK, Malcolm X, the freedom fighters. You know what they did? NAACP. You know what we did? We just got louder. So this ain't new. It's just loud. So which means is it's time for us to just become louder again. That's all that means. And it's time for us to mobilize. It's time for us to put new leadership in position. It's time for us to have folks like Dimitri and the Dr. Sarahs, these younger folks who will be malleable enough for us to tee them up, open up doors, set up shop, and put their ass in office as we continue to teach and show them. So at some point, Dimitri's son could be running for office behind somebody else's daughter or son. That's how you do it. We have to strategize, and then we have to let our white allies into position as well and keep their commitment to us. Because with 13.4% people in the U.S., we can't do it alone. Allyship is important, but it ain't new, baby. It's just loud.
Dimitri, this is the last thing I want to try to bat around. Did the South African president, did he screw his people? Did he screw us? Because people got screwed. I'm not sure if he screwed us as Black people, but what do you think?
The thing about it is, when you actually sit and think about it, he couldn't have screwed us because he never included us. We were never included in him. He doesn't see us in him. So the thing about it is, to say he screwed us or he betrayed us or anything of that nature, we were never his people. That's never how he viewed Black. You understand what I'm saying? But another thing, what clears me in all of this is to how they can't believe we see their playbook. They distract us with fear. They deal in white favor. And then they disguise it all as democracy. It's insane to me. I don't get it, but I don't see a sellout. I see a man who does not understand he's being conned.
Come on.
I wonder what he got, what he was given, either positively or negatively, the threat that he was given, or if he was given some gift that moved him, that would then allow him to say, okay, fine, we're going to change the laws so Elon can have what he wants. But I want to address something you said with a story that lives in my heart. And I love my African brothers and sisters, but let's be real. Many of y'all don't think that you are brothers and sisters with us. And I experienced that firsthand.
With Black Americans? With Black Americans?
Yes. I went to Senegal. I went by myself. I got off the plane. I went like deep in, like, don't take me to touristy shit. Like, I want to go like real stuff. So I'm like deep in it, like in like a hut, like where there's like no running water, like real shit, like whatever. And this little kid comes up to me, and I had learned the word for white man in their language. And and like three women were standing behind one was clearly his mother and two of the other aunties, whatever. And the kid goes, white man. And he points at me, and I understood his mistake. And I said to him very calmly, no, I'm Black like you. And the three women behind him laughed like I was Chris Rock making a joke. Like, that was the most ridiculous thing that they had ever heard. And that was not the only time I was called white man the entire time I was in Africa. And I felt closer to Africa, but it also, in general, but it also made me feel disconnected from Africa. That's so, over there, one drop of white blood, you're white, right? Like here,
100%.
one drop of black blood, you're with us. Over there, one drop of their blood, you're with them. So,
and I know we got a rap parade, but you're 100% right. When I went to South Africa in Johannesburg, we were on an excursion doing our thing, and we were in the depth of Soweto, right? We were in Soweto, and they kept referring to me as a white woman, and I was
way too light to be Black over there.
Oh, I was so offended internally, but I would never externalize that to them because I never want to disrespect them or their country as a visitor. So I was like, and then I asked one of the guys, I said, well, so I'm confused. I am Black. What makes me look white? And he goes, if there was something that went down like a war right now, he said, you would be protected in place with the white people. And I'm like, and I'm thinking, I want to say, I didn't say it. I'm thinking, as much as I fight for us back in the States, let me tell you something, brother. I'm as Black as it comes. But I let him have it. I respected his opinion, and I just kept on in our tour that we're in. But you're right.
I want to hear, come in the comments and tell me if I'm wrong. But I think a lot of Africans are like, you white, right? Like, but also, this is an amazing topic. And at some point, we're going to have to deal with colorism, because that is one of those issues that Black people don't want to talk about.
Yes.
But shit is real. You talked about pretty privilege, which you have. We also have light skin privilege in this community. And that is a very real thing. Proximity to whiteness will make you seem cuter and all the other things, right? So that is something that we have to deal with on this show, because we're dealing with it in our community. You guys are awesome. You brought your heart. You brought your whole soul today. You kept it real. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Give yourself some rounds of applause. You're the shit. Extra points for Dr. B for mentioning my book. Demerits for you two. You didn't mention the book. Maybe not even aware of the book. You guys gotta read the book before next time.
Next episode, I'm dropping the book right away.
I'm kidding. Y'all
and
guys
Torrey,
awesome.
guess what? I actually agreed with you twice this episode. I said, listen, I said two words. You're right.
I agreed with you a lot too. I hope that doesn't make you throw up after the show. Dr. B, you're awesome. Sarah, you're awesome. Dimitri, you're okay too. You guys killed it today. This is the way this show is. It's a family who comes together, debate, argue, make you a little smarter, make you laugh, make you want to throw tomatoes at the screen. All of that is fine. Get in the comments. Tell us how we make you feel. It's going to be this all season, plus a little Mark Lamont Hill, plus a little DL Hughley, plus Ebony K. Williams, plus other special guests, because, you know, our Rolodex is huge. So you never know who you're going to see on Truth Talks. We're going to be here every night, 8 p.m., weeknights, having an amazing conversation. You can always watch us on the Black Star Network. You can like, subscribe, and comment on our YouTube at Truth Talks-Live. We are on Roland Martin Unfiltered. You can support Black media through all the links on your screen. We are the Truth Talks fam. We are your fam. We will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.